welcome back. It's been a while. It's been a number of weeks. I think I've been in Limerick about 6 weeks now, and I don't think I've put up a video other than when I arrived. So I felt it was about time. I'm on the way to the barber's. Haven't got my haircut since I got here, so this is a good place to video as well. This is the living bridge on campus. Unreal. Firstly, I think I semi-expected this to happen, the transition to graduate medicine, as many people that had come to the different programs before me had said. It's super intense, right? It's medicine in 4 years, where undergraduate it's 5 or 6. So you've got to expect it to be a lot of work, but definitely that transition, because obviously my undergrad being sort of physics with a little bit of biomed, it was very different way of learning. This is kind of a lot more breadth of knowledge, but probably not as difficult to comprehend some of the concepts. So it's give and take really, but it's been great. It's been a great transition and I've loved everything. And I think part of the other reason I haven't been able to vlog much at all is, partly me. I should definitely make the time, and I'm definitely going to. But the other thing is I was definitely not only transitioning to the school side of things, but also the friends and the people here. I wanted to give time to that and build those relationships in the early stages before kind of taking some of my free time to now do this. Should have mentioned, it is Saturday, 16th of October. Yeah, I'm on the way. I haven't been to this barber before, so I'm actually going to stop filming now because my appointment's at 3. I got 25 minutes, and I think Google said it's about 35 minutes away. So we're gonna have to speed walk this. Lots to talk about once I get the mop chopped. See you then. And we're out. Happy days. By the way, I once again have to apologise if the beginning of this video is slightly blurred, but I think I realised that I must be hitting one of the buttons here at the back that goes from auto to manual focus, and I think I keep doing that, which is why half of my videos are quite blurry. Johnny's Barber Shop in Limerick. To be honest, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I think it just started raining, which is perfect timing, just as I want to talk about everything that's going on. This is great. First things first, have I settled in? I've settled in very well. I'm loving it. Classmates are great. We're having a great time. So starting with classes themselves, gotten to the routine of things now, including problem-based learning, which I definitely want to do a whole video about because I think it's really important. I actually think problem-based learning thus far is working better for me than didactic lectures that I had in my undergrad, for sure. I definitely want to talk about overall how medicine is taught in UL, because there are elements that are really good. For example, PBL, I think the way that it encourages you to learn things well and to teach it back to your classmates is great. I think it works incredibly well. I think clinical skills side of things is great as well. I think where it's maybe let down is anatomy, but we'll get into the detail of that some other time. The weeks have been pretty busy, the way the cases come on. Aside from that, there's been loads of events socially. In the first week, we had a lot of stuff with orientation. We had like a quiz night, and we went to one of the local bars another night. And then subsequently since then, last weekend we had sort of a thing for Canadian Thanksgiving. So we all brought something different food-wise, absolutely unreal. I don't think the story is still on my Instagram, but I should really put it as one of the highlights because it was so cool. The food was amazing. Aside from that then, part of MedSoc here, they organise football for the graduate medical students. They also organise tag rugby on a Wednesday and football on Thursday for graduate medical students of different years, which is great. So I've been going to that. And then just this past week, there were trials for UL soccer team, which I've actually decided to do. Now, it's a tricky one. So the last few weeks, particularly, we'd had embryology, which was extremely busy. And part of that meant that we were so busy trying to get the learning objectives done for the PBL part of our learning each week that we're realizing now this weekend, which is not quite as busy, other parts of the course have been put on the back burner a bit, like anatomy, etc. But again, that's, I guess, all part of getting used to the best way to learn things in this course. Overall, I'm happy with how I've settled in now. Content-wise, as I've said, I haven't been great. I definitely want to show you more about the course and everything that's going on. One thing I definitely want to try and do, I'll have to ask some of my classmates if they'd be up for it, or some of my good mates from UL even, we can simulate it, just to show you how PBL kind of works, to give you a better idea. Maybe that'll be part of the PBL video where I talk about what exactly that is and how it works. Another point I wanted to make is, I know there are some typical videos out there and it's not very original of me, but I definitely want to do things like a day in the life. I think it'd be really fun. And maybe that's where, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I get some of my friends to help simulate some of the scenes, I guess, like a PBL class or a clinical skills. Actually, I just want to pause for a sec. It's getting very autumn-like on campus, so I want to show you this little walkway in. Very nice. Quite nice, that, yeah. Anyway, I definitely want to do a day in the life, but it's very difficult because a lot of our day is very interactive. You know, we've got clinical skills, we have to be engaged in that class, and I can't just have a camera sit there in the corner of the room. It makes a lot more sense for me to kind of, I'll definitely simulate some of those things, so I will video a day in the life, and when I would have been going to, say, a clinical skills class or a PBL, problem-based learning, when I'm due to go to those, maybe I'll put in some sort of simulated scene or something just to give you a full idea of what I'm doing in the day. Now that I think of it, if I'm doing a day, it'll either be PBL or clinical skills. It wouldn't be both, but I could do a week in the life, maybe that'll come. That's a big commitment as well. But another point I wanted to make is about editing. So one of the reasons why there may be gaps between when I'm actually making videos is because of how long editing takes. So editing obviously takes quite a long time. By the way, we're coming up on the sports arena. Giving you a mini tour as we go. Obviously it's a big time commitment, and I think during the week it's super busy, but I'm definitely just going to find some sort of regimented weekly routine that works for me, that allows me to get the editing done that I need to, because I definitely want to make sure that I can still do this, because I've really enjoyed starting the YouTube and getting it all up and running, and I kind of put it in a position where it was just ready to go when we got to Limerick, so I definitely want to do that. One other thing is my confidence. Actually going to walk around this way just because I'll show you the running track actually, which is behind the sports arena. Just cool to see. This is actually where I do some of my runs in the morning. But yeah, I definitely need to build up my confidence as well. I mean, even walking around here, it's a Saturday, so there's not a whole lot of people around, etc. But I think I just have to be more confident in myself, in holding up a camera and not worrying about what other people think. I don't know, sometimes you just are a bit self-conscious when you see other people and you're filming yourself on a camera. But here we are. I'm going to pause the ranting temporarily while I show you the running track, which is, as I say, part of the daily routine. Not the daily routine, but maybe the bi-weekly routine. And over that hill is where Munster Rugby often train. And so their gym is actually in behind. So that's the running track in behind me. Here, as I said, is Munster Rugby. You've got tennis courts over there. I should do a full tour at some point, really, shouldn't I? Instead of kind of flicking to different places as if you have any sort of orientation of where you are. That is, if you haven't been to UL, of course. If you have, you'll know exactly where I am. As far as the weeks have gone and what we've actually covered so far, we've actually got through a lot of content. We started off with a pretty easy case that involved sort of the ear, and then we moved on to anemia, and then we've looked at embryo neural tube defects. We're on contraception at the moment, and STIs and all that kind of stuff. So each week is definitely incorporating a lot of information, but it's seems to be really well structured. In clinical skills, we've looked at general history taking, you know, how to deal with patients, how to speak to patients, an ear exam. We've done a breast exam, an obstetric exam recently. So the course has been great, and I've really enjoyed it as well. It's been really full on, but it's been great all the same. So now that I've sort of been here for 6 weeks or so, what are my thoughts on my expectations versus the reality of graduate medicine? And that's a really, really interesting one. I think I came in, as I said, having spoken to a lot of people, and I knew that medicine was going to be really intense, and that has certainly been the case, so that's not a surprise. I'm happy in the kind of level of difficulty of the content, I guess. I feel as though I has a mystery about it in that people haven't really experienced PBL, and I hadn't before I came here. But I definitely think that knowledge could be really useful to you before you come in, and definitely will be useful to you in making an informed decision about where you might want to study graduate medicine and what it's like. So please reach out to me, because reaching out to me helps me understand what are the kind of things that people want to know. You know, the most fulfilling thing for me as far as making these videos will be if I know that they're going to help some of you. So definitely reach out to me when you can. Please leave comments of any ideas that you have or anything you really want to see. And actually, something that I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video is thank you so much for 100 subscribers. That is amazing. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it really does. It means quite a bit. I mean, started this channel in the early summer, so it's taken a long time to get there. Thank you so much for subscribing. Every subscriber makes a huge difference to me. You know, I check it every day, so once the number ticks up, I'm happy. Hopefully lots more videos to come. Hopefully this won't take 100 million hours to edit because I'm so slow, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.